Joining us right now is Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty. And Senator, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We know that this is an agenda that has some speed and some urgency behind it. What do you anticipate, not in the first 100 days maybe, but maybe in the first 100 hours?
Becky, I think speed and urgency may even be an understatement. If you think about it, President Trump's success has already begun before he's even taken office. I mean, look at the ceasefire agreement that took place in Israel. Thanks, Steve Witkoff, for flying over and conveying President Trump's messages and making that speed up and happen finally. If you think about what's happening around the world today, you see CEOs making commitments to capital investment here in America well before President Trump has taken office, but after the election. In fact, our GDP growth has been adjusted significantly upward for 2025. And we've already begun to see the impetus taking place right now for our economy. I think what you're going to see starting today, a tremendous number of executive orders coming out that will deal with very pressing issues. I think immigration and the border obviously are going to be a key concern. That was a big issue on the campaign trail. President Trump has made a commitment to re-secure our nation again, starting with our southern border, and empower ICE to do their job again. That is a critical issue for Americans, and that's something I expect to see a lot of action on today. Getting back our energy industry to the growth trajectory that we were on. That's going to be great for our national security. It's going to be great for our economy in terms of lowering inflation. And I think you're also going to see a big thrust in deregulation. The estimated cost of the Biden-era regulations, $1.4 trillion burden on the American economy. There's a lot of work to be done here, but I think the deregulatory thrust is going to be significant, and I think you'll see a lot of that starting on day one.
Senator, you have a pretty unique position as a former ambassador to Japan. I just wonder, the speed that we're talking about, some of the initiatives that have come out with talk of tariffs, with questions about whether we would defend our allies in the way we have in the past without some give and take, just in terms of what we expect economically from them. What do our allies think about these moves? Are they nervous? Have you spoken with any of them? And how do you think this plays out?
I've spoken with a number of our allies, and if you think about our trading relationships, and Becky, this is an historic issue. It goes back to World War II, where many economies were devastated after the war. We put in place very favorable trade terms, European economies, Japan, et cetera, because we didn't want them turning toward communism. We wanted them dealing with us. We should have time limited that. We should have put a GDP per capita limit. We did not. Today, we have very non-reciprocal relationships. And the result of that is we're not looking at a level playing field. President Trump wants to see that addressed. I think our trading partners understand that. I've been working very closely with Canada the past several days, really trying to block some actions that the Biden administration was trying to do at the 11th hour to harm U.S. companies, to allow Mexico to expropriate U.S. company property. Thankfully, Canada decided to work with me, to work with the new Trump administration coming in, and to block this from happening so the Biden administration could not inflict this sort of damage and allow this sort of expropriation to take place in Mexico with impunity. These types of arrangements and engagements, I think, are all positive, moving in the right direction. Our allies realize we've got to change the terms of trade. We've got to start working together, and we need to see reciprocity occur at every turn.
Senator, hold on for just a moment. We're watching some pictures here.
Yeah, Becky,
Certainly.
just as we're watching this picture, this is St. John's Church. This is just across the street from the White House itself. We're expecting President Trump to arrive here to take part in a service this morning. And we know from the pool reporters who are in the building that they've already seen a number of the Trump family, Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, Pam Bondi, his attorney general nominee, Lara Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is there, Kash Patel is there, a whole host of folks as we see the motorcade now beginning to make some movements here. That is a motorcade leaving Blair House also across the street from the White House. That's the traditional place where presidents stay as they're waiting to be sworn in. Any dignitary who's visiting the White House, foreign heads of state, will stay at Blair House overnight if they're coming to meet with the President of the United States. Now we're seeing that motorcade make its way. It's going to make a couple of right turns here, go around the block and come back to the church. And we will expect to see President Trump entering St. John's Church here. We're running a few minutes behind that. We're expected to depart Blair House about 8:15. It's 8:41 now, so you can imagine a little bit of extra detail in the morning getting everything ready to go. But they are on the move now.
Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife have entered St. John's as well, and we'll see that coming in just a moment. Senator Hagerty, we've been talking this morning about the coalition. This is a broader coalition that came together in Donald Trump's second election. How tenuous is that relationship? How tight is it? And I guess the question becomes, with a very thin majority, in Congress, how do you get those things done? Where do you see the places where it's going to be smooth sailing? Where do you see issues where it might be a little rougher?
Well, I'm optimistic, Becky. I mean, President Trump definitely has opened the tent. He's really focused on the working man and woman here in America. Many of them felt forgotten for years. So I really do think there's a great opportunity. I think one of the first tests, Becky, will be this evening. We're going to move Senator Marco Rubio out of our Foreign Relations Committee this evening, and I hope be able to bring him to the floor and get consent from all of our colleagues, both Republican and Democrat, to move him into the Secretary of State slot. I'd like to see the same thing happen with John Ratcliffe coming out of the Intelligence Committee. As we begin to move on to these appointees, critical appointees from a national security standpoint, I have great optimism that we have the opportunity to see bipartisan cooperation here. Let's get these appointees put into office. Let's give President Trump the team he needs, particularly on critical national security areas, to get this thing moving, to make our nation as safe as possible.
And speaking of, we are looking